straight ahead on 12 News, finishing the final leg of Highway 610. While construction ramps up, there's concern about funding all the connections to the highway. Plus,
travel is expensive, but there's ways you can reduce the cost.
see travel deals that are hard to believe, all found by the Thrifty Traveler. But first, a Plymouth police officer struck and injured by a vehicle. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. A Plymouth police officer has escaped serious injury after she was struck by an SUV.
43-year-old Angela Hausman was responding to a hit and run Tuesday night in the 1700 block of Kilmer Lane, that's near US 169 and just east of Medicine Lake. And Eric Nelson joins us now with more on what happened there. Eric?
Yeah, Alex and Mike, Plymouth police believe the SUV's rear tire ran over Angela Hausman's foot. Now, this could have been tragic, but fortunately for Hausman, she suffered only an ankle injury and has been released from North Memorial Medical Center. Officer Hausman was wearing dark clothes at the time, and the driver apparently did not see her because of flashing lights.
Unfortunately, with the technology, our emergency lights are bright. And in the daytime, that's great. At nighttime, it can be blinding to oncoming motorists, and we're aware of that. I think in retrospect, having the road blocked off completely and just diverting the traffic would have been probably, sort of the panacea here.
Hausman has been with the Plymouth Police for over 16 years and is one of the force's more visible officers. She has hosted a community cable television show called Along for the Ride. The Hausman incident shines the spotlight on accidents involving police officers in the line of duty, which has spiked nationwide in recent years.
Over the last, I would say, decade, we've had more cops killed in traffic crashes, whether it's within their vehicle, over driving their vehicle, hit by another motorist, or as a pedestrian on the roadway investigating something, making a traffic stop, like with Ted Foss.
Now, the SUV driver is a 22-year-old Bloomington man. Charges are not expected to be filed. Police say he was not speeding at the time. Mike?
All right, Eric, thank you. The construction of 610 is coming to an end, or so it seems, but as Emily Raguse reports, while the highway should be done by the end of the year, that's not the case for all of its connections.
Highway 610 almost reaches I-94, and progress is definitely being made.
We are completing some of the connections between 610 and 94, but there's only 2 connections that are actually being completed right now.
Those 2 connections are 610 westbound going north on I-94 and southbound on 94 headed east on 610. It will still take $45 million to complete this project, adding in other interchanges.
There is no connection going east-west, so 610 just stops. And there isn't the connection to County Road 30 that needs to happen. There isn't a connection going from 610 south onto 94.
Connecting County Road 30 into the equation will ease up congestion on 94.
For example,
and as Corcoran Mayor Ken Genther points out, make for a smoother commute for residents in rural areas.
So anything that makes their commute shorter is going to be appreciated. Great for them, easier to get to shopping, easier to get to entertainment, all of that. And so not only the current residents, but we hope that attracts future residents too.
It will also help relieve areas within Maple Grove.
Without a good connection to 94 and a good connection to Trunk Highway 610, all of that traffic is forced to use the Maple Grove Parkway interchange to get where they want to go.
To have a fully functional 610 will lure more and bigger businesses to our northwest corridor, and it's a very important project to get completed the right way.
While the completion can't come soon enough, completing other connections that are yet to be funded still have a ways to go.
If we were fortunate to put these pieces of funding together this year, being 2016, perhaps it could be completed by the end of the decade.
The completion will just improve the economic vibrancy of the whole region.
Emily Raguse, 12 News.
Of the $45 million still needed, $20 million of that would come from the state level and $25 million from the local level.
In Plymouth, the city will review proposal plans for a new senior housing complex. A project called Cherrywood Point is proposed for an area east of Highway 55 and Old Rockford Road. It would include 64 assisted living and independent living apartments, as well as 23 memory care suites. Housing like this is in high demand. A recent market study of the Plymouth, Golden Valley, and Maple Grove areas found that the population of those 65 and older is expected to increase by 7,000 people between 2015 and 2020. The Golden Valley City Council has approved plans that include the relocation of a Golden Valley social service agency. PRISM, which has services such as a food shelf and a thrift shop, will relocate to a site in the 5900 block of Golden Valley Road. A Minnetonka nonprofit, Jewish Family and Children's Services, which employs about 75 people, will also move to the site. At least 16 tenants of the building will relocate due to the plans. PRISM hopes to move by 2018.
A Plymouth teacher was among those helping to make the case for pre-kindergarten funding at the state legislature today. Lisa Putz teaches kindergarten at Birchview Elementary. She joined other teachers telling a Senate committee that preschool experience makes a big difference for kids when they get to kindergarten. And she told the story of one child with special needs.
He spent the whole year struggling not only with his behavior problems, but with academics as well. He is so bright, he's incredibly smart, and he knows he's behind. It's so frustrating for him to know he's behind and know that he's not able to catch up.
The legislation closely follows the governor's proposal, which calls for $25 million to fund voluntary pre-kindergarten programs. House Republicans favor targeted scholarships for existing programs.
With the November presidential election and August primary election just around the corner, there is a call out for election judges. City halls are in recruiting and hiring mode, looking for people of all ages and backgrounds. This year, the addition of electronic poll books should speed up the voting process, but they are expecting a big voter turnout. And those who are bilingual or students age 16 years and up can make good candidates for an election judge.
We have about 24 polling places in the city and about 40,000 registered voters. So this year we'll be introducing the electronic poll books, so it's helpful to have the younger kids or students to kind of serve as an election judge because they're tech savvy.
In Brooklyn Park, they are looking for 400 election judges. People interested should apply at your local city hall. One of the top female basketball players in the world was in Brooklyn Center today.
Minnesota Lynx star Maya Moore was at Odyssey Academy to promote fitness and nutrition. Moore was part of a spirited pep rally as she teamed up with the UNICEF Kid Power program. The goal is to get kids to keep track of their physical activity. By tallying points on their Kid Power bands through fitness, they can unlock food packets that will be given to hungry children across the globe. In Moore's opinion, this is a win-win.
They're doing something that's helping them be healthy and encourage other kids to be healthy, but at the same time they're allowing, a great need to be met around the world. So two problems, one in America for sure, and then one globally are being being solved.
I can't even explain it. I'm so thrilled to just meet her.
Playing tag.
Good for her. According to UNICEF, 1 in 4 U.S. kids are overweight, and 1 in 4 kids globally don't get enough to eat. Well, coming up, 12 News finds some great travel deals thanks to the Thrifty Traveler.
And that is next in Money Savers. And then a little bit later in sports, a look ahead to local players competing in the high school girls basketball all-star games this weekend.
But first, spring is in hibernation. There's a chance of snow showers Thursday morning.
Here is something to think about. If money wasn't an object, where would you go?
Well, you can let your imagination run wild with this next story. A local man shares his secrets to cheap travel on a new website. Reporter Shannon Slatton introduces us to the Thrifty Traveler.
I always wanted to travel, I just didn't have the money.
If you love to travel and you don't know about the website Thrifty Traveler,
So I outlined how to get there, how to book it.
you should.
When you come to the homepage, probably one of the better deals of the day, one of the newest deals is going to be the first thing you see.
Jared Kamrowski is the Thrifty Traveler.
I'd like to think that I'm an expert in getting to places cheap, but I still have a lot of places to get to, that's for sure.
Just this year, he's going to South Africa, Europe, and Dubai.
We're actually flying first class on Emirates.
And he's going for less than you would expect. Jared cuts costs by maximizing credit card travel rewards and finding low-cost flights.
Travel is expensive, but there's ways that you can reduce the costs. And a lot of that is through trying to find a cheap flight.
He points people to one place to search.
The secret is Google Flights.
You can search there for specific destinations, or you can let Jared find them.
So when I find a deal, I'll try to post it to Facebook, to Twitter, as quickly as I can so that people can book them before, they disappear.
About a year ago, Jared started thriftytraveler.com as a hobby.
Lots of early mornings, lots of late nights.
There he lists the great deals he finds.
These are some of the deals that I posted today.
For example, $98 round trip from MSP to Orlando, $493 round trip for Chicago to Shanghai, or $390 round trip from Miami to the Galapagos Islands.
There's so many just bargain deals you can get out of different cities.
The deals are just part of what the Thrifty Traveler offers, but it's a great place to start dreaming of where you'd like to go for less.
There's a flight deal for Minneapolis. There's a pretty good chance that it's going to be featured on our website.
For Money Savers, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
Coming up, high musical marks for the Osseo School District.
But first in sports, a look ahead to what the Totino-Grace baseball team hopes is a winning season. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
The Totino-Grace baseball team will be a young squad this year, but as Jay Wilcox reports, the Eagles are hoping to carry on a winning tradition.
The Totino-Grace Eagles grabbed some hardware in the regular season last spring, winning the Northwest Suburban Conference title. They've won league titles in the past, but this was the first with the big boys since joining the Northwest Suburban.
It was a pretty big deal. A lot of fun games. That conference game was a lot of fun. I don't know, it was a big deal for us, kind of gave us good momentum.
It's a great conference, unbelievable teams, great programs, and it's a little humbling being in that conference because day after day it's such a grind. And yeah, you're right. It was really a big achievement for our kids last year, and we're proud of it. But that was then.
The Eagles did lose some talent to graduation, but return a few regulars too. First baseman Hunter Lindquist, third baseman Nick Holton, and catcher Jens Radicek are back. It's a team with some hitting, but much of the pitching staff graduated, so finding some arms will be a big key.
We've had a lot of injuries, but we hope guys will step up, and it's going to be a big team effort this year. Not really any one guy's going to take the mound, but everybody's going to be a team effort. So,
I think we'll be able to hit and field a little bit. We just got to make sure we find guys that can throw strikes. That's going to be the tough part, and maybe not. It's a lot of unproven guys.
While the regular season a year ago was one to be proud of, Grace made a quick exit in the playoffs, losing close ball games to Coon Rapids and Champlain Park. That motivates the Eagles to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, it is a big motivation part of it because we want to get back out there. We want to be on that same spot, and we want to see what we can do.
Yeah, playoffs last year were kind of tough to take, but this year we're hoping to get another crack at it and make a run.
Totino-Grace is opting up to play in the new Class 4A this spring, where many of the same past section rivals await them at playoff time. They're hoping to be in the hunt for conference and section titles. Jay Wilcox, 12 Sports.
The Eagles open the season Saturday afternoon at Benilde St. Margaret's. They start Northwest Suburban Conference play next Tuesday at Irondale. Maple Grove's boys hockey program has added a new assistant coach, one who has a pretty good resume. Former Elk River head coach Gordy Roberts stepped down as the Elks head coach this week and is joining Crimson coach Todd Berglund's staff as an assistant. Roberts was the Elks head coach for 4 seasons, coaching the team to a pair of seven Section 7 AA championship games. He played 15 seasons in the National Hockey League, including 7 as a defenseman with the Minnesota North Stars. 40 of the top girls basketball players from the class of 2016 will be in Northfield on Saturday for the annual Minnesota Girls Basketball All-Star Game. 5 of the 40 are from schools in the Channel 12 viewing area. The 2016 Minnesota All-Stars include Osseo's Kiara Russell. The Arizona State signee averaged over 22 points and nearly 5 steals per game for Osseo and was named first-team All-Metro and All-State. Maple Grove's Kenzie Barta averaged 17 points and 6.5 rebounds per game for the Crimson this season. Maple Grove's Kenzie Barta averaged 17 points and 6.5 rebounds per game for the Crimson this season. She finished her career third all-time in points at Maple Grove and will play next year at Harvard. Elena Jarnett was a dominating player for Class A Power Maranatha Christian Academy. She topped 2,000 career points and 1,000 assists and played in 5 state tournaments for the Mustangs. Next year, she'll play at Division I Monmouth in New Jersey. 2 Hopkins teammates are also All-Stars this weekend. Number 14, Ashley Bates, who's a 3-year All-Conference player for the Royals, and averaged 14 points and 4.5 rebounds per game as a senior, and finished as the Royals' 5th all-time leading scorer. Bates will play next year at Hampton University. Her Hopkins teammate, Nia Holly, is headed to Michigan State next fall. As a senior, Holly was the team's leading scorer at 17 points and 6.5 rebounds per game. The All-Metro and All-State forward is the second leading scorer in Hopkins history. The 40 All-Stars are divided into 4 teams. Games were at 1 and 3 o'clock Saturday at Carleton College in Northfield. The 2016 Minnesota Miss Basketball will be named Friday night. Kiara Russell and Nia Holly are finalists. Man, that's a look at sports for today.
All right, good luck to them.
Yes.
Thanks, John. Still ahead, Osseo area schools hit the right notes for music education.
We'll explain next. And finally, Osseo area schools have good reason to be proud.
For the 8th consecutive year, the district is named one of the best communities in the country for music education. Here's a peek inside one music room.
So instead of Wana Baraka or Wana Baraka, I want Wana Baraka. It has space.
That is Maple Grove Choir Director Beth Halstead working with the Crimson Harmony. The Osseo District is one of only 6 districts in the state earning the designation Best Communities for Music Education by the National Association of Music Merchants Foundation.
It's a big deal because we're being recognized for what we are doing in Osseo. So it incorporates the technology that we use, the standard-based grading that we use, the standards we teach, the music offerings we give, and the amount of time kids get to be in classrooms with us.
The Osseo School District is the only one in the state to earn the designation 8 years in a row. Quite an honor. And that does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And as we say goodbye, we leave you with a little more music from the Maple Grove Crimson Harmony, singing the classic, You Make Me Feel So Young.